Good afternoon and welcome to Sunshine Reports. I am Akinwumi Abodunde. A renewed call has been made on the need to urgently scale up innovation and the deployment of new tools in the fight against malaria. At an event to mark this year's World Malaria Day, stakeholders said all hands must be on deck to ensure a malaria-free society. The Malaria Program Officer of the Ondo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Mrs. Titilokwe Akinlalu, said pregnant women and children under 5 years are mostly at risk of malaria. The state coordinator of the World Health Organization, Dr. Dele David, who was represented by the state technical assistant on COVID-19 vaccination, Dr. Mahmoud Zubairu, noted the need to invest more in malaria control and diagnosis to achieve a malaria-free society. Others who spoke at the Ondo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency's event emphasized on the need to reignite the momentum and build on the recent advances and innovation diagnostics, anti-malaria medicines, clean environment, as well as some other tools to speed up the pace of progress against malaria. The year 2020 celebration has as its theme, harness innovation to reduce the malaria disease burden and save lives. Staying with health matters, the Ondo State government says efforts are on to contain the outbreak of Lassa fever in the state. The state's epidemiologist, Dr. Stephen Fagbemi, while confirming the news of a recent outbreak, said measures have been activated to curb the spread in affected communities. According to him, government has embarked on a campaign to eradicate rats in communities, while aggressive sensitization of the people on the disease is ongoing. He urged residents of the state to present themselves early for treatment as soon as they notice symptoms.
That has always had issues with Lassa fever, and but in recent times we're making a lot of effort to contain it. I must say that perhaps the COVID-19 has interrupted some of the successes and the gains we have. Unfortunately, the patients, we lost some patients this year, and usually because they presented very late. We've also worked around that to make sure that there's heightened index of suspicion among the health workers and the hospitals. We have a good referral system and ambulance system to pick patients everywhere. And treatment has been free. It has been free for many years in Ondo State, and it continues to be free working with FMCO. This year now, apart from FMCO, we've opened another treatment center in Akure Infectious Disease Hospital. I can confirm that since January we had 3 health officers who were infected, and they've been treated, they've recovered, they've gone back to their work, they've gone back to their families. We've had quite a number of patients this year. Government has been working very hard, working with partners. We put a lot of measures at sensitizing the public, working with the communities affected. We have heightened our surveillance system to pick cases, to trace contacts of cases, and our contact infection this year has really been down. The government has also put in measures for treatment. Treatment has been free, in Ondo State. Every aspect of treatment, from the blood test to the treatment to the drugs to the food to the admission to bed, is totally free at no cost to it. Even to transportation of the patient, has been totally free. And because of that, because of the cases we've had, apart from FMCO, this year we've started treating patients even at the infectious disease hospital in Akure, courtesy of government. So, this is a disease that is spread by rats. And unless we have a way of killing all the rats, which is not possible, we can only continue to make sure that we work more on our waste management, reduce rat-human contact, and if people are infected, pick it up on time, because it's curable. It's curable, and if they come to the hospital on time, I'm sure many people have survived, and they will continue to survive it.
Dr. Stephen Fagbemi, state epidemiologist on control, outbreak, and prevention of Lassa fever. The Ondo State Governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, has called for fervent prayers against the nation's challenges. The The governor made the call at the breaking of the 2022 Ramadan fast, popularly known as Iftar, held at the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure. The event was attended by top government functionaries led by the governor of the Ondo State, Akeredolu, members of the State Executive Council, political associates, religious leaders, traditional rulers, and the public.
Even though Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu is expected to resume official duties on Monday, 25th of April 2022, following his return to Nigeria after completing his annual leave abroad. But Mr. Governor is here with us at the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, to identify with the Muslim faithful for this year's breaking of Ramadan fast, popularly known as Iftar. The event started with the reading from the Holy Quran, while Governor Akeredolu stated his passion to promote religious tolerance and harmony in Ondo State. From the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Over 2,000 kilometers of rural road projects are expected to be constructed by the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project RAMP in Ondo State to enhance easy access. The project, which is worth about $55 million, was attracted through the intervention of the World Bank, the federal government, and the Ondo State government as part of efforts to ensure food sufficiency in the state. RAMP Regional Infrastructure Advisor, Southern Region, Al-Hassan Aliyu, led a team of World Bank consultants to Accra, the Ondo State capital, to ascertain the possibility of having a law to sustain the project even after the expiration of the present administration's tenure. Omoriola Ngweji has details.
One of the challenges threatening development in Africa is mobility, especially on rural roads where foods and raw materials are generated from. Addressing the situation, Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project, RAM, embarked on rural road projects for the benefit of farmers, but concerned about maintenance of the projects. To this end, RAM and World Bank are meeting stakeholders in each state, proposing a bill for the creation of Rural Access Road Authority and state road funds for the sustainability of the projects. RAM State Project Coordinator in Ondo State, Olushola Dada, said the essence of the visit is to propose a law that will protect the interests of majority in rural communities.
Part of the things that will keep the system, that will make the agency functional, is the SRF. Where will the money come from? The State Road Fund. How will it be constituted? How will they source for money to maintain this road over this period of time? That's the essence of the visitation of the bank team.
RAM Regional Infrastructure Advisor, Southern Region, Al-Hassan Aliyu said the proposed project will help in sourcing money for the maintenance of rural roads.
Although the project is going to intervene on not less than 2,000 kilometers of rural access roads, rural roads. These 2,000 kilometers will receive various forms or various levels of interventions.
World Bank Road Sector Reform Consultant Mesam Abedin maintained that the road reform is part of the agreement the state government signed with the World Bank to have an agency responsible for the maintenance of rural roads after the completion of the projects, hence the need for state road funds, SRF. Abedin said the state road funds would be generated from users' fees and percentage from the state government.
But the core objective of the State Road Fund is to raise revenue for maintenance of the road network. Just getting to the states, getting to the roads can be more difficult and more costly. So there's a managerial bias against rural roads.
Other agencies visited include Economic Planning and Budget, Internal Revenue Service, Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Justice, among others.
Mainly, Ondo State is an agrarian society, and bulk of our product there, they are like fallow in the interior. So our thinking has been rural. What a timely marriage.
Project that Mr. Governor has conceived in his mind even before he became the governor of Ondo State. And for us, what we are having today is a dream come true.
It also is going to support the redeem agenda of our governor, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. You know, top on that redeem agenda is rural and agricultural development.
We are going to provide the necessary legislative framework to make the project come to life.
They recommended policy, and I had to explain to them that we need an integrated approach, not to overtax our people, because in our extant laws there are provisions there.
Meanwhile, stakeholders, including the World Bank consultants and representative of the federal government, would embark on a workshop where decisions on the bills would be taken. Omoyola Humbiji, Osrc News.
The Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, ODIRS, has collaborated with the Federal Road Safety Corps and the Vehicle Inspection Office, as well as other security agencies in the state, to commence a clampdown on vehicles without valid particulars. The move is aimed at checkmating the proliferation of vehicles with illegal number plates in the state in a bid to ensure the safety and security of road users. OSRC's Joy Pius completes the story.
Staff of the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, ODIRS, the Federal Road Safety Corps and Vehicle Inspection Officers, alongside other security agencies in the state, are on enforcement exercise in Akure, the Ondo State capital. The team caught motorists unaware as they took to major roads in Akure metropolis, stopping and checking vehicle particulars of motorists. Director in charge of property and other taxes at the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service, Bamidele Falade, said it was a violation of traffic regulations for motorists to ply the roads without valid documents, adding that the team is also out to ensure vehicles plying the state roads are roadworthy.
There are specifications and guidelines that must be followed by heavy road users. Whether you are a vehicle owner, a driver, a motorcycle owner, a rider, or even a tricycle. And we are just trying to enforce compliance with those rules and regulations. Then beyond that too, for the sake of security and safety on our roads, those rules must be, regulation must be complied with. For a driver, you must be licensed before you can start driving on the road. So you must have a driver's license. And for vehicle owners, your vehicle must be registered. All the papers must be intact. You must have all vehicle registration documents, you must have roadworthiness, you must have insurance, and if it's a commercial vehicle, you must have acting permit. All these are required before you can start plying the roads with your vehicles.
The Provost, Ondo State Vehicle Inspection Office, Oluware Monde, warned motorists to desist from patronizing illegal and unauthorized offices in acquiring vehicle licenses.
Initially, when you get a new plate number, the right thing for you to do is to register the vehicle. But some people prefer to get the local government plate number. There is a difference between them. Normal registration is for you to acquire normal plate number, which will carry your identity, your vehicle, your road, and your insurance that will be able to carry it. But when you get the local government plate number, you will not be able to capture the registration of that vehicle. It will just capture only the chassis number alone.
A road user, Longe Busuyi, commended the move of the government, stating that it will boost sanity on the roads and the state revenue generation drive.
Ó dára nítorí pé téèyàn bá ń lo mọ́tò ní títì tí ò ní particulars kò dáa nítorí pé ibẹ̀ náà làwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ti ń generate owó tó ń lò fún ìlú ó tún máa ń create job opportunity for people.
The team enjoined motorists in the state to update their vehicle particulars to avoid embarrassments on the road. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
Women have been enjoined to live exemplary lives and be role models to the younger generation for a morally upright society. This was the charge of the officiating minister, Prophet Segun Ogundele, during the inauguration of the newly elected officers of the Organization of African Instituted Churches Women and Children's Department, Ondo State Chapter in Akure. Bisola Aluko was there, and the report is presented from our studios.
A call to serve and to give direction, one demanding a sense of purpose that inspires and motivates them to commit and achieve the mandate. To this end, the Organization of African Institute Churches, OAIC, Women and Children Department, Ondo State Chapter, has inaugurated newly elected officers in Akure, the Ondo State capital, with the basic aim to teach and train the younger generation. The officiating minister, Prophet Segun Ogundele, charged the new executives to depend solely on God to direct them in the leadership journey. He urged the new executive to train children and youths in godly ways, while empowering women to be outstanding, noting that the role of Christian women as home builders should also extend to the nation as well.
Probably because of the region we are in, you are being called to serve as president, as secretary, as members of the executives of OAIC Women Department in Ondo State. Don't do that. Our women like you, who are not afraid, and they reach the promised land. And that is why the topic for today, and the purpose. Today is your own day to take the mantle of leadership. How are you going to do it? How are you going to stand on the law? So help me God. So help me God.
The oath of office was thereafter administered on the newly elected officers, who promised to discharge their constitutional duties effectively.
I feel very honored, and I glorify my only God that I'm serving, that give me this honor. I know quite well that God will help me. I know God will help me, because He is the only one that can help.
As the state secretary today, I will work with other executives.
Southwest Zonal Chairperson Prophetess Aditutu Oguniyi and the outgoing state chairman Pat Ojimiwe tasked them to be virtuous and maintain the outstanding qualities given to them by God.
They should behave like a good woman in the Bible that we've read about, like Deborah, Esther. They should be able to train their children. They should be able to take care of their home.
The duty is challenging. But with God, there is nothing one cannot do. With God, we were able to at least lay the foundation of this women wing because we are the pioneer officers. And I thank God today that we have taken the organization to an enviable position.
Founder of the Christ Living Church in Akure, Primate Sunday Oladosu Ojuolakpe, admonished the officers to be firm in Christ and committed to their members' welfare. The election, which produced 17 new officers to replace the outgoing ones, led to the emergence of Mother-in-Israel Gloria Adeyemi as the new chairperson to lead the department for the next 4 years.
As part of efforts to add value to cocoa beans production in Nigeria, Springboard Cocoa Farmers Cooperative has launched its chocolate bar with the brand name Tiwa, meaning proudly our own. Founder of Springboard Nigeria, Lawrence Afere, said the target is to make chocolate available for the ordinary Nigerian without compromising quality, while also ensuring that farmers derive adequate reward for their task. Zaid Aribisala reports that farmers at Springboard are resilient in placing Nigeria as one of the largest producers of cocoa in the world.
These are cocoa farmers from different rural communities in Ondo State who are members of the Springboard Cooperative. Away from their toiling on the farms, they are here to witness the value addition to cocoa bean derived from their farms, now produced to chocolate. Their homegrown chocolate bar with the brand name Tiwa in local parlance means proudly our own, comes in milk and dark chocolate variant. Different stakeholders in the agric value chain who spotlighted problems facing agriculture in Nigeria challenged the farmers to ensure sustainability of the product with quality cocoa beans.
Export grade. And I'm not pushing you quickly to export. That's not the intention. The intention is that when you have a product that is of export grade, the domestic market doesn't have a choice. It's a challenge to our farmers. That is what we call sustainability. For us to sustain this chocolate, they need quality cocoa. By the grace of God, Springboard, I challenge you not to rest on your boss, not to rest on Tiwa chocolate alone.
Nations will come to buy Tiwa from Akure in the mighty name of Jesus.
Don't feel assured again by they are going to take Springboard to places.
The visionary and founder of Springboard Farms Nigeria, makers of Tiwa chocolate bar, Mr. Lawrence Afere, said the target is to flood the Nigerian market with the product.
So we are projecting that this chocolate will be sold across Nigeria. Of course, we are also looking at export, but our first target is Nigerian people. We are keeping the best for Nigerians. This is not the first chocolate to be made in Nigeria, of course, but this is the first chocolate that will be produced by cocoa producers. So this one is owned by cocoa farmers. Once cocoa farmers are able to add value to their cocoa beans, it means that their level of income will increase, so they can make more money. And then once the farmers know that they are turning their cocoa beans into chocolate or other products, that means they will begin to look at quality production.
It is the first time of eating chocolate for some of these cocoa farmers, and the joy is a ginger for them to do more in the area of increasing productivity and improving quality of the cocoa bean.
We are only hearing in the radio and television about chocolate, but today when I came in and I saw the something and I tasted it, I saw the something is very different, very fantastic.
According to nutritionists, taking chocolate for both young and old helps in brain building, stress management, among others.
I just bought the dark chocolate and I loved it, and I know that the milk chocolate will equally be very good.
Since 2008, Springboard has grown into a network of over 3,000 farmers in rural communities. Among them are over 500 cocoa farmers championing Nigeria's drive to return to the zenith of cocoa production in Africa, placing premium on quality production. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
3 suspected serial taxi robbers, popularly called One Chance, are now cooling their feet in police net. The suspects, Akinbasi David, Kayode Akinlosotu, and Adekunle Blessing, allegedly robbed 2 ladies who boarded a taxi along a roadblock in Akure on the 16th of this month. The victims were said to have been robbed of Infinix Smart 5 phone while in motion and told to alight along the road as the car was no longer going their way. The victims reported the case to the police, who immediately swung into action. The suspects were later apprehended by the police. The police public relations officer in the state, Fumilayo Odunlami, who confirmed the report, said the suspects would soon have their days in court.
Two ladies boarded vehicle from this Benin Owena garage, and the taxi took them, claiming they were going to Ife. While they were on transit on the move, those men robbed them, then told them they were no longer going to Ife. The next thing they did was to push them out of the vehicle. They, however, went and reported that the special squad of the police. So, through intelligence gathering, we were able to get information about the vehicle and the driver. So with that, we were able to arrest three people, and that's the Basi and other two. So when they were arrested, one item phone that was stolen was recovered from them, and they all confessed that that was their line of business, that they've been robbing people, unsuspecting people like that for a long time. We can just take. We believe there is a connect between all of those people. What we are doing is we are still trying to get some information from these three that has been apprehended before they will be charged to court. And of course, we'll be on the lookout to ensure that all these culprits have been arrested.
And finally, sports. 4 states from the southwest geopolitical zone of Nigeria are in Akure for the Maiden Basketball Championship tagged Play Against Drug Abuse. Ekiti, Osun and Oyo will join hosts Sundo to slug it out in the competition over 7 days at the State Sports Complex. The competition was put in place by the Ondo State Basketball Association to educate youths on dangers of illicit drug use. Male and female under-17 players from the region are taking part in the tournament. And that's it on Sunshine Reports. Thank you for being a part of it. Good afternoon.